Hey everybody, my name is William Shaker, and this is my pooch Rambo. He's going to be joining us in all of our adventures, and today's video is specifically about me and Rambo being on the road for one whole month. Being on the road has made me realize a whole lot of things that I would have never thought about if I wasn't doing van life full time. Things such as the amount of free time that you have. I found myself doing a whole lot more while on the road than I was when I was living in my apartment. The other realization I had was that I normally would think that because I'm on the road all the time and I'm going from place to place, that I would get really tired all the time, but surprisingly, I don't. So this and a whole bunch of other stuff is what I want to talk to you guys about in this video. But the first thing that I want to talk about is something that everybody always has a question about, including myself, and that is, where do you find a place to sleep? As you guys may know in my previous videos, I'm currently living in San Diego, and San Diego is a very RV slash van life friendly place to live. There's plenty of parking almost everywhere. Right now I'm hanging out in the beautiful Mission Bay Park, and it's just there's vans almost everywhere. Van life is definitely welcomed in San Diego, and with the small van that I have, it's kind of, I guess you can call it a micro van, if you will. I can literally park this thing in between two cars, and with a small little tiny space I can fit this right in there and I'm okay. The good news is that with this van, I don't necessarily have to worry too much about stealth because it is a small van. It doesn't have solar panels that are protruding out. It just has two little pop-up fans, which goes up, kind of looks like a little mushroom. Some people think it's a satellite dish, which may make it look like a work van after all. Well, like, I guess if I put an AT&T sign there or a Verizon, people might think that it is a work van. But regardless, I haven't had any issues whatsoever. The first week of parking the van in different locations, I felt pretty awkward, to be honest with you. I felt as if I was doing something wrong and I shouldn't have been doing it. It's kind of like a weird feeling, you know. You live inside of a home all your life, and then all of a sudden you're inside of a van with a dog. Not just any dog, but a big dog. I don't feel afraid for my life or something's going to happen to me at night. But it's more about, you know, being self-conscious that you're going to open the door and somebody's going to be there, see you come out of the door or from the back. Because me and Rambo go in and out of the van constantly. Throughout the entire day, I probably take him out like maybe 6, 7 times a day, and we go for very long walks and we come back. So I was very self-conscious for the first 2 weeks. I would always open up the curtains just a little bit, peep out, see if anybody's looking. And then I would open the door, run out as fast as I could, and then come back in, you know, making sure that no one's watching me. And, you know, for a little while it was a little bit awkward, but I've gotten used to it now, and it's not something that I think about too much. As far as being out on the road, I feel like I have a lot more time on my hands to be more productive, but productivity is kind of taking a hit as well in a weird way because you're always outside, you're always living life, you're always doing stuff, you're always out and about. There are so many things to do because when you're inside of an apartment or a home, you're surrounded by walls, a gigantic TV for all your entertainment purposes. Maybe you have a video game console, maybe you're living with roommates or you have, you know, family living with you. There's just a lot to do inside of a home or an apartment. But when you're inside of a van, you have your laptop there, you might have your music playing from your Bluetooth speaker, but aside from that, there's really not much. So I spend a lot of time in here, but I at the same time I don't. Most of my time is just spent walking around and just going out and about. I love staying by the beach, and I like working on my laptop. I love producing videos for you guys, and I have a separate channel as well that I do that with. So the point I'm trying to make is that you live a lot more life being on the road as opposed to being in a brick and mortar home. That's just been my experience so far. As far as cooking is concerned, I really haven't changed anything that I haven't been doing ever since I lived in an apartment or a home. When I lived in my apartment, I meal prepped for the entire week, and I do the same thing while I'm here. I got sick the last week of November, and I got sick pretty bad, which I will get into towards the end of this video. But that was the first time I ever went back to my mom's place. She lives about 20 minutes north of here. So I went to her place and I had her cook up a couple of things for me and I put it inside my fridge. So I've still been munching on that stuff ever since. But every week I like to meal prep and I haven't changed any of that stuff. I bought all my cookware. Everything is inside the van. I hate eating out. I love to cook. And not only does it save me money, but it's also healthier. And plus, it's a gratifying feeling that I have this fridge and I can pull food out, warm it up in my Hot Logic little oven thing you guys might have seen in the last episode. I hope you have. If you haven't, check out story number 4 or number 5. I forgot which one it was. But anyways, I use my Hot Logic probably 3 times a day. I plug it into my 12-volt cigarette lighter, and that warms up my food. Otherwise, maybe 20% of the time I'll go eat out. But as far as eating is concerned, warming up my food, things like that, I haven't had any challenges whatsoever with that. So you might be thinking, all right, so what about your dog? Yeah, Rambo, come here, come here, come here. We got to introduce you to all the fans out there. Look, look, look. Look at this camera. Look, look. You see that camera over there? No, silly boy, here, look. So yeah, Rambo is a pretty big boxer. He's about 65 pounds. Well, to some of you, he might be big. To others, he might be small because it all depends, right? But yeah, Rambo's a pretty big dog for a small little space like this. As you can see from the camera, he looks gigantic in here. But we get along pretty fine. He's got enough room to do a 360 in here, so he'll either go this way or he'll go that way. So there's plenty of room for him to walk around in. I'll usually be sitting over here during the day, or at night I'll be on my laptop or watching some YouTube or whatever. And if he wants to drink some water, I got some water down here. Otherwise, he'll be hanging out most of the time on this location here. When I open up the bed, he usually sleeps on that side over there. I usually put the covers on top of him because here in San Diego in the wintertime, it gets a little bit cold. Like last night, it was about 42 degrees, I think, and it was very, very cold. I think I woke up twice and turned on my diesel heater, and then we were warm once again. For the longest time, Rambo's had a whole bunch of rashes in between his legs where his growing area is, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I took him to the vet so many times, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Now that we're doing van life, those rashes have completely disappeared. And I think the reason why they disappeared is because now we're always on the move. He slept so much before when we were living in my apartment that he would develop heat rashes while he was sleeping. And I had absolutely no idea about that. And now I feel so bad about it. But now that we're on the road, the rashes have all disappeared. He's got great skin now, and he absolutely loves it because we're always out and he's always getting fresh air. Now, let's talk a little bit about the weather changes because that's something that is huge. Like yesterday, it was raining all day in San Diego and it absolutely sucked. When it rains in San Diego, like no one does anything. So the streets were empty, the stores were completely empty. And to be honest with you, it kind of sucked because in those type of situations, you wish that you had like a gigantic bed to just lay under. So I was taking a nap on this small little couch over here. I didn't put it in full bed mode, but it is a little bit cramped for me and I wish it was a little bit bigger. But it's a couch, so if I wanted to, I could make it into a bed. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about some of the difficulties of living on the road. One thing that I thought I would not get used to is always being out on the road, but it's something that I've gotten used to and it's something that I actually like. For the most part, I feel like you're living a lot more life on the road than you are if you were to live inside of a house. I feel like I've been doing a whole lot more. I've been walking around a lot. Me and Rambo go to the beach a lot and we walk around. And I'm always outdoors. I mean, obviously, I'm inside of a van, but when we're not inside of the van, I'm always outdoors. I'm always doing something, and it's a whole lot of fun. When we have an apartment or home to live inside of, for the most part, we feel a little bit lazy. We're always in front of the TV, just laying there watching TV with the clicker. I mean, at least that's what I did. But I don't do that here. I don't do that inside my van. I don't ever find myself spending hours on YouTube during the day as I used to do. So that's one of the big takeaways for me is that I'm living a lot more life now than I did previously, and it's something that I really enjoy. I think in a place like San Diego, living the van life is something that is very stress-free. There's parking almost everywhere, and the weather is always nice. Aside from at night when it gets to like 40 something degrees, during the day it's always beautiful and you could always do stuff. I do find that it does get cold. That's one of the stresses of doing van life is the temperature changes. Aside from that, the small little space that I'm in right now is something that I've gotten used to. In the beginning, it was a little bit difficult because, there's not a lot of space for me and Rambo to share, but he gets pretty much used to it. So now he knows that if I'm going to get something from underneath, he knows that he should go on this side. Once I'm done, I kind of like signal him to go back to where he was before, and he goes there. So he's pretty much used to everything. I'm pretty much used to everything as well, and we're pretty much getting along. Probably one of the biggest stressors for me is the bathroom because I don't know, maybe I have a small bladder, but I go to the bathroom a lot, and that's probably because I drink a lot of water. So I find myself having to go to the bathroom all the time. So I'll usually park next to like a bathroom or something and then come back into my van to use the laptop. But I think most of my challenges, they're going to be once I leave San Diego. San Diego is a very, very friendly place for van life. But once you leave San Diego, I think that's when the challenges emerge because the 24-hour fitness that I go to is probably going to be far away from anywhere I am, any gym for that matter. I'm not going to have access to a shower. Who knows how much access to bathrooms I'll have at that time. But here in San Diego, I haven't faced that many challenges, and I'm being completely honest. It's pretty much been carefree. I can park anywhere I want, this small little van, and I have absolutely no issues. So, as I mentioned before, I got sick the last week of December, and I'm still feeling sick. I coughed a whole bunch of times while I was making this video, and you guys didn't hear it because I've been clipping all of it out. But anyways, last week of December, I got really sick around this time of year when the temperature goes down and the humidity levels dips below 60%. My body goes absolutely nuts. I start sneezing a lot. I get a runny nose. I cough. And then I get kind of like a feverish, slight hay fever type symptoms. It was really bad at night because both nostrils were completely clogged up and I couldn't breathe. At night, it was an absolute nightmare for like the first week of getting sick. This has been the second week and it's gotten a whole lot better. During the day, I'm completely fine, but at nighttime, it just starts going crazy on me and I start getting both nostrils really clogged up, which I can't breathe and that means I can't sleep. So hopefully that changes. Hopefully I become better. And that's pretty much been my 1 month update slash review of van life. So my van is absolutely equipped with everything that I need. Running water, diesel heat, power, solar, like you name it. The next video that's going to come is going to be a full van tour. So if you guys want to stay tuned for that, please subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, if you enjoyed this video and it was helpful for you, please give it a like so other people can watch it as well. And I will see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.